It is Wednesday, we are wizards, and today is a magical day we like to call Wizard Wednesday. Channeling
Hello.
in with quantum style through the quantum downs, this is Elf.
And Dota.
And Mr. Bear. Meow.
Hi.
It's a big show today. We're gonna talk Hugh Hat lore. We've got a ton of cult questions today. We've got updates on the Black Sands pony racing. I think we've got some friends from the Hall of Cats joining us. We've got other friends joining us, and we have cult content. But right at the top,
And
go ahead, Dora.
at the very end, my kids agreed to sing Rainbow Connection with me, and I'll play it on guitar. So we'll see. We'll see if they follow through. But you can look forward. If you stay to the very end of the show, you might get a Dota special.
Yeah, you gotta stay to the
Let's
end.
go.
We introed with Kermit, and we're gonna outro with Dota. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, stay tuned. You don't want to make little kids cry, do you?
But yeah, speaking of Rainbow Connection, I just want to start right off with the Hugh Hat lore. I have had this written for about 4 weeks. It always gets put off, and damn it, it's not getting put off any longer. We are going to start right off the top with it. So the Hugh Hats. I think everybody knows what the Hugh Hats are. There's the 7 hat colors of the geopolitical factions in the Runiverse. But they are all solid hat colors. And then we have a very rare and limited group of Hugh hats, which is the hat of many colors. In fact, they have all the colors except white, because they are opposed to the reductionism of the white hats, where the white hats take all of the colors and reduce them to a singular expression of holy purity. The Hugh hats embrace every color at once. So this is not to be confused with the chaos of maybe the purple hats, where disorder is embraced as a matter of principle. This is actually the embrace of all orders. This is the ability to shift, to change, to see all perspectives at once. I was talking to Zayla Soul about the Hugh hats, and he sort of described them as emissaries between factions, which I think makes a lot of sense. The Hugh hats are able to bridge all cultures, ideologies, and peoples. This bridging characteristic is often expressed very literally. The most famous example in the Runiverse being Hugh Master Pass, which was probably built by some ancient architect who followed this philosophy. There are probably many other rainbow bridges in the Runiverse that have yet to be discovered. This archetype of the rainbow bridge is myriad across the mystical landscape. We know of the Bifrost Bridge that connected Earth to Asgard. The Greco-Roman messenger Iris zipped across the globe on such a bridge. And the book of Genesis describes the rainbow as a covenant between God and man. But perhaps the best way to describe this rainbow connection is that someday we'll all find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. And with that, let's jump into cult questions. There's a lot of questions today. I'm happy to get to all of them. So let's start right off with a Night Owl Birdman who has 2 questions. One of them is 3D models. When can we finally take them into Unity, put a VR booty tracking suit so that we can do the MP Shake? Okay, there's actually an answer to this. We are certainly building the models for VR. They should be platform agnostic. We're building them in such a way so that we get universal use out of them. And I don't know about VR tracking. However, I am certain that they will come with an Impy Shake animation. So that's what I can say to that. Night Owl has a second question, which I think Dota or Bear, you guys could handle this one. He's basically asking about the land drop for the Runeverse game.
Yeah, the land drop is still there's no date for it yet, so we don't know. That's the short answer.
Okay, short answer, no date yet. But Night Owl made a really great video that basically asked that question. I love Night Owl's videos, so I gotta acknowledge that.
Ooh, can we pin that at the top? I haven't seen that.
It's in Discord.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know
in
if
the
on
Secret
Twitter.
Tower.
Night
Someone
Owl
has to
posted
teach-
in the Secret Tower.
All right, somehow I still need to figure out how to pin tweets here. I don't know what I'm doing.
It's not straightforward.
Okay, Bear, you might have an answer to this. SPZ is asking, any news on the animated series?
Yes. Okay, so no, first of all, I'm feeling very, very, very good about it. Lots of conversations that would be boring to most, but exciting to me. Something that's actually going on that I can talk a little bit about. I don't think I've mentioned the writer's strike. Have I on Wizard
No,
One?
I don't think so.
Okay, cool. So, okay, I'll try to do this quickly because I know we have a lot. There's something called the Writers Guild of America, the WGA, as the industry insiders call it. And this guild is what sort of protects rates for writers so that they can't get screwed and like pinned against each other. There's like standards, right, for like how much you get paid for a script and credits and all this stuff. And so every 5 or 6 years, the WGA goes and negotiates new, better rates for their writers. And that throws a whole entire massive wrench into like the creation of content, television and film, and short form, even if it falls under the guild. And so there is a funny enough, the head of the WGA was actually at my house last night, but I didn't ask her about what was going on. But I do know that there is a renegotiation on the very near horizon in the next couple months. And what this means is that everybody gets really worried because if a strike happens, no writer can work. And so that basically grinds everything to a halt. Now, with every door closing, another door opens. We I guess I can say it like we can do this show with Derek non-union, which allows us to be not only is like the package and the show and the IP and the cult very attractive to streamers, but we become exponentially attractive to streamers when we are one of the few shows that can actually go into production, even if the strike happens. So I say that as like a huge feather in our cap. And
Yeah,
I think it's pretty exciting.
It basically sounded like Bear Snake was delivering bad news, but what he's actually saying is this maybe helps us.
Right.
Yeah, sorry, I'm sounding so serious and like flat, but essentially it's a massive leg up. And it's like, so basically like we just got like a huge shot in the butt of adrenaline running into sort of this next phase. So I can't give any more details than that, but I can't underline enough that that's a really big deal.
Yeah, this is why it's good to have a Bear Snake on your team, because only such a person would be privy to such insider information and know how to leverage it. So the short answer is like, yeah, the show is definitely on track. I just want to add something myself. I saw somebody tweet just today. Remember all those 30 NFT projects that were supposed to have Netflix shows? What happened to that? Okay. A tweet like that is a clear illustration of someone who has no idea how show business works. There is no way to say, I want a show, and then you have it on air 1 year later. It just doesn't happen.
It's literally impossible.
Literally. Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, give me that person's phone number. I'm happy to sit down and talk to them for 3 hours and explain why that's a ridiculous statement. It's the same thing, honestly, as like, I thought we were supposed to have like amazing Web3 games. It's like, okay, well, Like, do you understand how anything works in the world ever? Because you should go home and shut up. I'm not
Yeah.
agitated.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's just like, it's okay. They don't know how it works. But yeah, I mean, I would say, like, out of those 30 NFT projects that were promising a show, I would put us on par or ahead of all of them. So that's my
Yeah.
take.
Oh, and also I'm like hearing about like I get whispers of like every time like another NFT project is like trying to get a TV show made, I get phone calls from like agents and lawyers that from my because I'm like the one crazy person that they know that like went into Web3. And I will say that like all I'm hearing, even from like top projects, is that like they're just trying to find writers to like work with to develop a show, and so it just makes me even more excited about like where we are.
Yep. Okay, let's move to the next one. This is kind of related. Matto is asking about comic issue number 1, which, Bear, you've also made a lot of progress on that as well. I don't know how much you want to reveal, but
What is
I
this
know
for?
you've
What is
Comic,
it?
comic issue
comic
number
issue
one.
number
Oh yeah.
one.
Oh yeah. So we actually have a deal in place that we could sign today for global distribution of the comic book of the whole series. It even entails like you know, um, when you have 10 comics, you can actually like once you're like 4 or 5 in, you can bind them into graphic novels, and then get them into like Barnes and Noble and Walmart and all these box stores. And so we actually have a deal on the table that like uh, we could sign today. I'm waiting for a couple other options to see if they can better it. But yeah, like we're in a really good place. It's very, very exciting. Well, I've been very, very busy, Bear, in
Yeah,
January.
it's unbelievable.
Yeah, he's. Oh, I want to say one other thing about the show. I don't even know if I'm supposed to say this, but I'm just going to say it. And you guys can punish me later.
Oh no.
We actually did have a deal that we could have signed on the show like last summer, and we turned it down because it wasn't what we wanted. But
It's true. It's
but
true.
we straight up did have a full deal like on the table waiting to be signed, and we just didn't take it. So
Wasn't good enough. Come back.
Yeah, it's not good enough. It's not good enough.
Bye.
yeah. So anyway, but yeah, show and comic, they're definitely like, let's just put it this way: they are working at the speed that that industry works at. It's not crypto, it's the entertainment industry, and we're well on the rails there. Um, okay, let's see. Audio Box is asking. Questions about staking. Okay, so JMander and AudioBox. They're basically AudioBox says, what tokens will staking be available for? I know it's for the Wizards, but any others? And then JMander just says he wants to hear anything more about staking, and it seems like it would mark a change of tone at some level for the project. How do we keep the lore not floor ethos? And was this the decision to do this based on any sort of market factors?
So much there. So okay. So first off, staking. We are calling it questing. That's last time we brought it up, we hadn't quite like finalized the term, and that's what we're going to use. It's questing. And the it will just be wizards for the foreseeable future. We can always, and when I say wizards, I mean Wizards and Souls. I make that mistake a lot.
Yep.
We will share more details on questing as it comes, but the short version will be that there will be a place on the website where you come and you can send your wizards on quests. So an important part of the like structure of anything that we do is um, the lore. The story is like paramount. We won't do anything if we can't find a story that fits within the world and fits within the lore. And so this idea of like your wizard going on quests fits squarely within the lore, and in fact, it's a lore building opportunity. So yeah, I don't think that it changes the financialization of the project. For example, it's not a situation where you stake and you get $FRWC token. Gosh, kill me now. We're not doing that. There will be rewards for
I
staking,
tried.
but
I tried.
yeah,
I
yeah,
tried to make it happen. It didn't work. Sorry.
but they will be within like everything that we do is going to be a part of the way that we do it. And so, yeah.
Yeah, if I could add on, there is a heavy lore component to this. In fact, I would say there's even like a character building component. This is more lore and character than anything else.
Yeah, that's an
It's
important point.
Yep, yep. And well, yeah, I don't want to reveal too many details either. One thing I see is De La Sols and SPZ asking one question: is it non-custodial staking? I think it is, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Cool, but yeah, we'll talk more about staking later. But I mean, to answer your question, Jay Mander, I think it is a big shift, but I think it is aligned with everything that we've been doing all along, and will only strengthen the storytelling and the lore.
That's an important point that you mentioned, which is like it's still around character building, which is a key part of this project. And it's like character building in a new dimension. And it's
Yep.
a new dimension that's like, well, more passive than like writing in the book of lore, which you'll still be able to do.
Yep. Yep. Okay, speaking of lore, Virgilus the Sorcerer has a really fun question, and I've got kind of a lengthy answer to this. I won't take too long. He says, I want to know a little on the lore of the Tengu. A lot has been said about the different hats. Time to start branching out. I agree. I am going to start branching out. I want to talk about other heads, other places, other pieces in the Runiverse. But this should not prevent you from writing and creating. And let me just dive into a little bit why. Here's my process for writing 90% of the lore on everything in Forgotten Ruins. I just go to Google search or mainstream Wikipedia, and I look at all that's been written or created on this topic. I look at classic mythologies, I look at artworks, literature, even real world history. So when I'm creating for Forgotten Runes, it's actually just a matter of research and less a matter of creating from scratch. It's just like I'm just trying to compile everything from the archetype that I can find. And the really important thing to keep in mind when you're doing this is that with these archetypes, there is no canon for any of them. If there is any canon at all, it's at the very core, which is a human psychological impulse expressing itself. So it's good if you can distill what that core impulse is. Um, like what does it say about Japanese culture that they needed this tengu, this red long-nosed imp that is sometimes depicted as a crow? What does that say? And can we see this expression? Can we see expressions of this impulse in other cultures? And not only across cultures, but also across time. Because ultimately, we're not talking about things that are old, we're talking about things that are timeless. So, the Merlin TV series in 2008, and then the one in 1998, and then Merlin's mention in Harry Potter. All of these are just as important to the Merlin archetype as the Merlin in 15th century texts. This is what Ouroboros is telling us, that space and time are relevant to the archetype. This torch of the ancients has been passed to you. And now you can pick and choose all the elements from across space and time. You can choose what you like, what speaks to you, and you can discard the rest. And now you've got your own personal expression of this meta symbol. So to answer your question, yes, I will certainly give more lore on all these things that you ask about. I love doing it. But don't let that prevent you from creating or writing, because you can use the same research methods that I do. You already know what a tengu is, because that same impulse that led Japanese culture to the house of the tengu is within you, because you're human. We all are. And these are the denizens of our dreams. So now, speaking of denizens of our dreams, let's touch on a more malevolent house in the Runiverse. And that's the House of Cats. We got a lot of House of Cats questions. Okay, so I'm going to just read off all the House of Cats questions. Emma says, how do you feel about all this cat business that's been popping up all over the place? Well, let me just read the others. And then Bill Gaines is asking, how do you feel about the clear inequalities between the aristocats and the proletariats in the Hall of Class? Cats, that's a good one. And then Cheddar Bob is asking sort of a tangential question, which is when are the funeral services for your pony? So, yeah, I mean, do we have an emissary from the House of Cats yet who wants to come up and speak to any of these?
While we're waiting, I just want to say, so proud to sit within the Hall of Cats. I am ecstatic at the momentum the felines have created. Unstoppable. I also want to commend the incredible emojis that have been built. I can't. I just now I just want to redo all of our emojis across the board. This is set the bar. Cat set the bar. Meow.
Yeah, it's been really fun to see the set of emojis that has come out of the contest, and I think that contest ends today. Very curious to see how that plays out. Also, there was a big internal discussion at Magic Machine. Should the Hall of Cats chat channel be in the guilds channel with all the rest of the guilds, or should it be put up between Sales and Burn Chat as the only guild in the cult chat section on Discord? And I think at the end of the day, we decided to give the cats what they wanted. Cats require special treatment. Cats think they need an exception, so we gave the cats their exception.
Hey, Elf, let Sammy on stage so she can hiss at everybody.
Sammy, put it in a request. I don't know if you know how to do that. I can't find
She said she's putting in a request, but I don't even see you in the audience, Sammy.
Yeah, Sammy, you're like somewhere else.
Come on, Sammy.
Oh, wait, hold on. I got it.
I got it.
There's the Queen of Cats right there.
Meow.
Hey, Sammy.
Hi, guys. I was requesting.
Oh, sorry. We didn't see it.
Hey, everyone.
Hey. So
What's up, Kitty?
do you have any news from the Hall of Cats?
Yeah, we do have a little news. So our emoji contest is coming to an end. I'm glad that Dota is super up to date on everything that's going on, and thanks for the exception of letting us stay. Our contest is ending tonight. We're trying to let it go as long as we can. So midnight PST. You can still submit all the way up until then, and then we will announce the winner whenever we feel like.
Amazing.
We actually will be giving out the tokens for Bear. We wanted to say thank you so much because Bear actually donated one of his warriors for first place prize.
Oh. Yes, I did. I forgot about that.
And then we're out.
I guess you can have it.
And we're
But a true cat would take it back. A true cat would take that offer back, but I'm not going to.
I wouldn't be surprised if you did, but on all sincerity, please don't. But anyways, we're also going to give out treat boxes for 4th and 5th place because we've had so many good submissions, you guys. Like, they've been incredible, exceeded expectations. I think Jitsi was saying today in the channel that there's 70 emojis or something crazy.
Wow.
It's been awesome. And they're all really violent and funny. So good job, guys.
Speaking of funny and violence, I'm just going to straight up ask, who the hell stabbed my pony? I want to know right now. Who was it?
Listen, there's no cat that's going to fess up to that. Cats don't fess up to things that they do.
Yeah. Also, we'd never tell you. Did you see the new artwork that Cosmic put out of
Vlaco? It's intense. Yeah.
Actually,
it is
stabbing you, Alf.
Intense is definitely a word. I would choose another word though. The House of Cats is getting a little out of control. I gotta say, I'm gonna say it's probably worse than the Cucumpocalypse, and that's saying a lot.
It's kind of like when my cats bring me a dead bird in the morning.
Yeah. We take that as a really high compliment. So thank you very much. That's all we got.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks.
Bear, are you trying to play music or something?
Yeah,
he's playing Thundercats.
Sorry, I had to put the Thundercats theme up there for a minute.
No one can understand. I thought that you were playing music like how they do in the Academy Awards to get me off.
I'm playing you on stage. No, I was playing the Thundercats theme.
Thundercats are the only good cats. Okay, and with that, we'll move off of the cat Hall of Cats. Let me answer Bill Gaines' question. Bill Gaines, workers of the world unite. That's how I feel. Okay, we've got a few Goblin Town questions from Schlee and Tanya Del Rio. Schlee says, any more specifics on Goblin Town, mint, launch, airdrop, etc.? And then Tanya is asking, how do you win Goblin Town, or do you just play forever?
So the specifics on Goblin Town. I think that we will. I think we'll probably do it mint. We haven't figured it out quite yet. So the way the current plan is that there will be crates that you'll receive as being a holder of the FRWC tokens. We've talked about this before, but just in case anybody's first time, as a holder of the tokens, there will be different tiers, which we will publish that you can get. Within those crates, the things that are NFTs in the games would be an unplaced settlement, an unplaced road, a goblin soldier or many goblin soldiers, a goblin boss or many goblin bosses, and then cards. And cards have certain effects on the game, like extra damage, healing power, things like that. So those would be the different classes of NFTs within the game. If you're a holder, you'll get an airdrop. We also have people who knocked a trick or treat will get an airdrop, and then a few partner communities. We're really, even though it sounds like a lot, we're being somewhat careful to make sure that kind of there's not like a ridiculous amount of tokens on the market. At the same time, it's a game. Anybody can come and play the game and sort of like compete, and most people will start on relatively equal footing. And my current favorite mechanism for a drop right now would be something that's sort of like time bound. That there's like a mint where you can come for an hour or for 10 minutes, and just sort of like whoever wants to buy in and play for those 10 minutes can buy, and then after that it's sort of fixed. If you want to play, you go and you get things on secondary. The fundamental component that you need to play is a settlement. That's the only thing that you need, because what you'll do is you'll take that settlement and you'll find a place on the board that is empty. And once you place your settlement, then you'll start to accumulate resources over time. And then you can use those resources to kind of level up, buy other roads, extend out your roads, and then place other settlements, which expands your territory until you get to the phase where maybe you need to have some soldiers to help you defend your territory. So yeah, the question being, how do you win? Well, you win by being the biggest and the best, and by sort of like conquering your enemies and taking over more territory, and by having sort of a market on all of the resources. So there's not necessarily like an end game where it's like, oh, if you win this trophy. Though there will be like a leaderboard. There's not necessarily like a designated end state for the game. It'll be ongoing.
All right. Let's see. Other questions.
Flu had a question. Flu had a question about the ledger, and I don't know what it was.
Oh, yeah, I did. I think
Flu's
I saw...
on stage, so Flu could just.
Flu, what's your question?
Hey, so you guys allocated drops for 2,000 of the ledgers. Now we have not sold 2,000, so we've sold like less than 500. Does that mean that the allocation would change in a way so that each one of those 500, for showing that like faith in it and whatever, would get 4 times the drop that they originally would have, because you still have that same allocation of things to give out overall?
No.
Well, fuck you then. I'm not going to stand
Flu, you're new. Sometimes Dota doesn't deliver news in the nicest way. He's just like, no, but he means it with all his heart.
Yeah.
Flu, I want to come back to you after we're done with cult questions, because we have some questions for you.
Okay, cool.
Okay, yeah, I think I just see 3 more questions. Snoop Dogg is asking, are there more runes than the ones we have seen in the collection? I think yes. That's not to say that they will ever appear in some other token, but I think that the Runiverse has more runes. The current ones in the collection are based on a few things. They are put into a few categories. So there's the planetary runes. There's 4 elemental runes. There's a handful of runes that represent alchemical substances. And then there's a few miscellaneous runes, like the up, down, the omega, the infinity. But yeah, I mean, I think the Runiverse probably has a ton other runes floating around. The one who rings with a hilarious question, he just says, "What's this guy's problem?" And he's got an image of wizard number 9999, aka the bringer of the end times. So I do not own that wizard, so I can't tell you what his problem is. Only the wizard owner could tell you that. However, what I can tell you is obviously he's the last wizard in the collection. Um, and you can see a visual connection between him and the first warrior of the Warriors collection, who is the emissary. So there's definitely some lore there. I don't know if it's up to me or the owners of those characters to create that lore, but there's definitely a connection. Oh, and then Give a Hoot is asking, Elfin Team, how have you been feeling about your attendance on various spaces this past week? Good of you to notice. It's definitely something we've been doing a lot. Bear, it was mostly you and I this week. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, I
Or
think.
Dota?
I just think in general, yeah, Dota, please talk too. But like, what I'll say is, it was part of what we wanted to get better at was communicating and messaging outside of the Forgotten Runes bubble, and I think we're starting to do that. And I think, between that and communicating that thread, the mega thread, and sharing the deck, I think it's working so far. I think we're not going to be able to drop a mega 70 slide company deck every week or every month, but I think I think we're off to the right track. We're off on the right.
Yeah, I like doing it. I like that we're on more spaces. I want to do it more. At the same time, it's like so hit or miss in terms of like whether you really click with people, and it takes up. They're never like an hour, right? They're like 2 hours, and then you're like, oh geez, that was my whole day. And then sometimes you get off, and then like 4 new wizards join because they're like, I love it. Then sometimes you get off, and you're just like, oh, that was a complete waste of time. And so, you know, we need to do it. We need to be on a space probably every day, one of the three of us. And so I think that's something we're working towards.
Basically, we've discovered that projects that build nothing but spend all their time on spaces often outperform projects that build constantly and are never on spaces. So we're trying
Also,
to find the balance.
Just to speak to that, we booked a huge podcast, and we're flying to a city at the end of the month to go do it in person, which is very exciting. So we'll have more information on that.
Yeah, that'll be a big deal. Okay, I think that's all the questions. Let me just give a Black Sands update, and then I want to jump to Flu. So Black Sands Pony Racing, Race 5 of the Ether Cup is finished. In first place, this is a new winner. We have Styx the Efficacious, owned by OX Sharon, or as she's known in some parts of the Runiverse, Storytime Sharon. Congrats
Wow.
to Sharon on
Congrats.
her first... Yeah. Very exciting. As far as I know, that's Sharon's first Pony Black Sands victory. In second place is Ace the Mirthful by Baron Von Fancy, who I believe was in first last week.
Ooh, nice.
Yep. And then Vitalik the Strong by Mester Brown took seventh. And then in last place is Penny the Sturdy by Radagast. And if anyone is interested...
Oh, go ahead, Al. Sorry.
Well, I was going to say, even though my pony got stabbed by the Hall of Cats,
oh, no.
she still held in 25th place.
That's pretty good.
So your stab did nothing. Thank you very much.
I don't know. 25 is pretty terrible. I'm not going to lie.
Well, it's not better than terrible.
It's better than Dota's horse, Josh the Blind, who fell 3 places since last week. He is now in 60th.
Oh, good old boy.
My God. You got wrecked.
Oh, I guess being blind is worse than being stabbed.
I actually might agree with that statement. It depends on the placement of the stabbing.
Right.
Stabbing the leg, big deal.
Oh, Josh.
Yeah. Okay, we have a guest today, Flu, newest member of the cult.
We have two guests, Flu and his lady friend.
Right, yeah. So this is what I think we all found so much fun, which is much like Slim and his wife, Flu. You and your wife are now cult members, and I don't know, Bear. I mean, do you have a more specific question? I just think it's neat, and I just would like to hear like why you guys love the cult, or what got you interested.
I think this is honestly a question for Waifu, because like I love NFTs and I love like all this stuff, and I've done projects and I've made things, but like the thing with her, like I don't think that she's ever felt welcomed in any NFT space. Is that correct, babe?
That is correct. But I think just to echo, your sentiment, I just think they're neat. And I, kind of glommed onto that. They're cute as hell. I love the idea of the lore and like that being like a community driven thing and like it following the NFT, whether, if you choose to kind of like let it go, sell it or whatever. But there's so much, I think there's so much in this. I don't know. I mean, like, for me, it's just like, what is there to not like?
Yeah, she's like, fuck you. What do you not like about wizards? Like, come on, dude.
But there's everything, you know what I mean? It's not just the wizards, and like that's the most amazing thing about it is that it's so much. It's this larger world, at large.
I think that like something that she attached onto, and I also attached onto, was the range of like derivatives, and not just like y'all's own derivatives, but like
Yeah, I love babies. I love the babies.
well, you actually
Bill
love
Gaines,
actual
shout
babies,
out.
too.
Yeah, and Bill gave me my baby, and so I'm gonna call him my baby daddy.
Uh-oh, Acid.
Did you hear that, Acid Eater?
I have no problem
This
with
is
this.
the first time I've said that, so like, just let this be.
That's really funny.
You're shining on stage right now.
So,
Thank
so Flu's wife, like I know Flu is into NFTs, but did I hear it correctly? You've never really been into NFTs until Forgotten Runes, is that right?
I have some NFTs. I have a couple of like Soul Cafe NFTs that I just really liked the aesthetic. I never really like fell into a community before because I don't know, like I'm not like the biggest of crypto people. And so for me, I think that NFTs have largely been like just PFPs. And I know that there's so much more to it in general for a lot of projects. A lot of projects they just are PFPs, but things like with Flu's project Son and like other things that he's worked for, I do want to see more utility, even if it's not for me. And I think that
For the record, she's never stepped foot in my own server, which I'm not.
that's a lie. That is an absolute lie. I have been in there.
How many posts have you made in it?
Listen, that was back when you made it, November of 2021.
The only thing that
So it's
matters
been a long
is
time.
the only thing that matters is how many posts have you posted in the Wizards Discord, and how many posts have you posted in your husband's Discord?
That's a really great question. I've probably definitely posted more in the Wizards Discord. I haven't been
All
super
right.
active
We
recently.
win!
We
Let's
win!
go!
You do win. You win absolutely. And I honestly, I have to say, and I made a tweet about this whenever I posted about getting my warrior and getting my baby the day after I joined the community. But I have never received such an outpouring of like love and support and just like a general welcome ever in any community I've ever like tangentially been a part of. It's been huge.
I think that you need to actually join the space with your account so that people can follow you if they choose to.
I just did
Yeah.
we're in the same place. It was just like a thing where like I can't actually speak on
Yeah.
the thing because we're
Well,
literally
just kick
sitting in
him out of
same
the car. Kick him out of the car and sign in on your phone.
We stopped
kidding,
on we stopped on MLK Road and like in Atlanta, so this is a really sketchy gas station. Can I please not get out of the car?
Fine, you're allowed to stay.
All right, cool. Thank
I
you.
am now in the space. I just have my volume all the way down.
Awesome. Well, we're so happy to have you. Flu. I don't even know what happened. Like within like 10 minutes, I was on like an actual phone call with you.
Yeah, dude,
And
I
yeah.
literally I'm a sniper, bro. Like I go after heads of projects. You've fallen right into my trap. Anyway, when collab with Son and FWRC? Like that's the real question.
Well, we're working on it. So
Or sorry,
we're
wait,
going to.
FRWC. Fuck, I
Yeah.
can't get that right.
Well, it actually, fun fact, it took me about 6 months to get the acronym right. But now I have it, so we'll give you 6 months. But yeah, no, we will let's like figure out a way to make it happen. We love supporting projects from people from our community, and it's awesome to have you. We love husband wife team. Maybe we do like a 2-on-2 arm wrestling match with you and Slim's wife. But we'll have to sort that out for the next IRL event.
I am actually pretty down for that. Do I get to arm wrestle the wife though? Because like I'm not that strong.
No, trust me, Slim is not much of an athlete, let's just say. So
His handle
he's
is
great
Slim.
yeah, he's great
That's
at
true.
twerking. Sorry, Slim. Anyway, it's
love
great
you,
to
Slim.
have y'all. We love you, Slim. We love Slim's wife. But yeah, thank you guys for joining. We love when it's more of a family affair. It's just it's our vibe. And Jody, what do you call it? You like to keep Christmas, the holiday Christmas family vibes in the Discord?
Eternal big family Christmas party vibes.
There we go. And
Yeah.
so families are welcome, and we're so happy to have you.
Awesome. We're welcome. I thank everyone for the warm welcome for both of us.
I really like. I think Flu's wife said something about it not like this project not feeling like crypto or something about that. And I just want to say, and maybe this is going to be controversial, but I think the most successful NFT projects will not feel like crypto at all in a few years. All the crypto will be sort of hidden, at least to the mainstream. If the mainstream can't enjoy your NFT project and it's only niche crypto communities that can enjoy it, I feel like that's not the right path for in like 5 years down the road.
Can I speak about that for a second,
Yeah.
actually? Because I do
please.
feel that's important. So I founded a few projects and I've helped on a bunch of other projects from the beginning, and like a lot of projects, they're focused on them being a project. They're focused on them being like an NFT. They're focused on delivering specific utility for like a very like niche use case of like a part of DeFi or a part of like whatever, or a part of gaming, or a part of whatever, or a part of just like really just a Ponzi, right? They're like, oh well, if I get in first and my friends get in second, then I'll make a lot, they'll make a little bit, last people won't make anything, the next people will lose everything, right? And what I've been looking for the past year are brands that are brands, and that intend on building things as brands. Like Pudgy Penguins, they're going after like literally they're going after completely IP and licensing deals, right? Which is great. And they're going after a very specific set of markets for that. They're like, okay, well, we want to hit this realm. And then Forgotten Runes, y'all are going after a few different verticals for the same thing. You want something that represents a brand and an experience, and not any sort of like financial incentive necessarily. And then the same thing is true of a bunch of others, but like you have to make it so where people who don't care about crypto care about your brand.
Exactly right. Totally agree. But and like, I don't want that to scare away like the hardcore crypto token people, because tokenomics are very important to us, and so it'll always be a vital part of what we do. We always want to return as much to the NFT holders as we can, but the brand has to be stronger than just the crypto community.
Yeah, tokenomics doesn't always mean Ponzinomics, and like designing elegant incentive systems is an art in its own, right? Like if we could design an incentive system such that like creative people can come together to collaborate on a global IP, and then everyone harvests the value that they contribute as a result of the success, that's like the ideal situation.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. I've spent like literally a year with an Aave fork with no token on 7 chains because like we wanted to make sure that like tokenomics model was dialed in and actually returned value to people. And it's exactly that. Like there's ways to do this responsibly, and you have to sit down and make sure that you're learning from others' mistakes and not just laughing at mistakes and not just like observing mistakes.
Yep. Yep.
We agree. I
Uh,
also
Anyway,
saw
thank y'all
a.
for being here. I'm gonna step down to listener. I love y'all. Love everybody for showing up. Sammy, nice to see you again. Chris, nice to see you down there with your extraordinarily distracting BFB. Y'all have a good day.
All right, later.
Good to
Yeah,
have you.
I think I just really love like these when I hear stories of people, crypto people onboarding non-crypto people. Um, so husband and wife teams are an exemplar of that oftentimes. But really just any story of onboarding non-crypto people, I want to hear more of those. They're super fun.
Yeah, and I think that a part of like what you're saying is that well, I just want to see the usability of crypto be absorbed into like day-to-day functionality. So for example, like it used to be, let's say even 20 years ago, if you had a laptop, you were like a nerd, right? That was like very rare to kind of like have a laptop. And then now everyone does, right? Now everyone has like a phone in their pocket, right? And it's the same thing with like gaming, right? A lot of people don't think of themselves as like gamers, but they'll play Candy Crush for like hours on end, right? And it's this idea that like you can play Candy Crush for like 5 hours a week and not think of yourself as a gamer. Why? Because it's just like the casualness of the interaction makes it doesn't have to be like part of your identity, and it doesn't have to be very like sophisticated to like use the technology. And I think crypto is going to be like that, where it'll get integrated in such a deep way that you can like participate without like, I don't know, like all of the weirdness that we have to deal with right now.
Yeah,
Yep.
there's so many friction points along the way, and actually something to that. I think Bob Iger was interviewed a few days ago, and he was talking about how he thinks NFTs are, just a hotbed for innovation, and they're going to definitely jump into it, and hopefully they get that going before we rise too big and completely destroy them. So good luck, Iger.
Bear, isn't Bob Iger one of your friends?
Bob Iger, I'm not that old, Jesus.
Yeah, but don't you
No,
have like a pet name for him?
oh yeah, Bobby Boy.
Yeah,
Bobby
yeah.
Boy. Yeah, Bobby Boy. Bobby Boy. I've crossed paths with Bobby Boy. I didn't have the balls to call him that. But maybe maybe when we're across the table negotiating in the future, that's a little negotiation tactic to get in his head.
No
Yeah.
one's probably tried that one yet.
But Bob Iger came and gave a big, I guess, talk to the company that I used to work at with Bear. Interesting guy.
Yeah, he's incredibly smart, and my gosh, he's like so ahead of the curve. That guy is, I think what he like took that company from like I'm gonna mess up the number slightly, but he took the company from like a $47 billion market cap company to like a $250 billion market cap company. He's definitely an innovator, quite smart, and would love to maybe we'll hire him and we'll replace Dota
Yeah.
as being the CEO.
Yeah, I've only heard good things about him from like my friends that work at Disney. Yeah, pretty.
Yeah.
He can gladly take my job. That's funny.
New CEO of Magic Machine, Bobby Boy.
Bob Iger, tweet it.
Okay, let's stop talking about Bob Iger. I want to go over some cult content, and a really interesting project has popped up in the last few weeks from the Cabinet of Curiosities. So welcome to the stage, Cabinet of Curiosities. What have you been working on lately?
Hey, hello, wizards.
Hello.
Yeah, so it's funny that questing came up as a topic because there's a quest already available for the cult members, the disappearance of Conjurer Atlanta of the Brambles, which I call it a collaborative on-chain lore building event. So what happened that a wicked wizard stole a magical mirror from the cabinet, and he trapped Atlanta in it. And another coincidence, what happened, that Flu was just on the stage, and actually he was the one breaking the mirror into shards with cleric Samuel. And now it's up to the cult to find all its pieces and save Atlanta from this imprisonment.
And this is an original blockchain experience created by the Cabinet of Curiosities. VMark sent this to me, I think it was 2 weeks ago. And it's really cool. I definitely recommend you all checking it out. Where can people access this?
Okay, so there's the Cabinet of Curiosities website, what you can find through the forum in the Forgotten Runes Discord. And actually the pieces of the mirror can be found at many different places, in Discord servers, Twitter, and the Black Sand tournament next race starting tomorrow. And it's a bit of a degen game because there are high stakes and yeah.
And for those who may not know, really great things always coming out of the Cabinet of Curiosities. I think the last thing we saw was the Lorb, which was essentially a 3D representation of all the wizards networked together in the Book of Lore. Did I describe that right?
Yeah, I think that's accurate.
Yeah.
And yeah, one more thing. So everyone who's participating in finding the shards will basically win a ticket to a collaborative magic item crafting in the Cabinet of Curiosities.
I love it. Yeah, always great work coming out of the cabinet. You are also making me remember something else. Your current PFP, did that come from the Cabinet of Curiosities, or is that something else?
Oh no, that's coming from small. Is it called Small Wizard?
I think it's the Wizard Smalls. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a new thing that I've noticed. Wizard Smalls. Is that by Small Protect, or is that somebody else? I have no idea.
No, it's somebody else. It's a new person, and I don't even think that his wizardness is Forgotten Runes wizardness first and foremost. I think it's just he identifies as wizard, and he also is doing Smalls, and he's done some Forgotten Runes people, but it's a separate project.
Yep, I think that's right.
And one more thing, just regarding the disappearance of Atlanta.
Sure.
There were already 11 wizards and ponies finding shards, but no warriors. So I'm a bit worried.
I got my treasure trove box yesterday, which was just glorious. Thank you, Meeple Dad, and everyone who contributed. My family really loved opening it. It was so fun. I've got the socks. I'll probably wear them to church tonight. And one of the things that happened is in the notebook, there was actually a picture of the shard in my notebook.
Oh yeah. Actually, there's a shard hidden in the QR code.
So I guess I found one, so I better claim it.
Exactly.
Okay. Awesome news, because I also got a Meeple treasure box just the other day. Thank you, Meeple. It is freaking amazing. And I never made the connection, though, that this QR code is connected to the broken mirror. So now I have one.
Let's go find some more.
LFG. especially if you're a warrior. That's awesome. Thank you, V Mark. I love seeing the cult build things. Another account that I just wanted to shout out that I discovered just the other day. It's a Twitter account called Color the Cult. And it just looks like a coloring book.
Oh, I love this.
It's
so
really
cool.
fun. I really want to learn how to train Stable Diffusion models, and I would love to train a coloring page model and then feed wizards through it. That would be amazing. But I looked into it, and it's actually super involved. So if anybody knows how to do that, hit me up.
Yep. Let's see. Sorry, the one who rings is asking time for Hugh Master lore. Waz, I did that at the top of the hour. Were you not present?
We'll talk to you after. See me in my office.
No, it's cool. I already told him Bobby Boy's first order of business is to fire Waz. So now we
Bobby Boy's going to
actual
need him
reason.
to make some good memes.
Honestly, Waz should probably have Bobby Boy's job. Waz
should be the CEO of Disney.
Yeah.
Bobby Waz?
Wazzy Boy. Speaking of Waz is working on something very cool that I can't wait to reveal.
Yeah, get up here, Waz. Tell us about it.
He's never spoken. He hasn't even spoken in the DAO. He should at least ring his bell.
No. I think what I think we should do is he has to come up on stage and talk, or we fire him. I think we put it to a vote.
Man, what is it with you wanting to fire him today?
Yeah, what's up with
Waz,
that?
your job is perfectly fine. Well,
Waz, I love you. I'm just ribbing.
Yeah, no.
I'm just kidding.
Waz,
kidding.
Waz, you can have Bear Snake's job. How about that?
Please, God, I just want to sleep.
He sits across the table from Bob Iger and just starts ringing his bell. This is my final offer.
That's a really good negotiation tactic. I'm gonna have to borrow your bell, Waz.
Like Tuco's granddad in the negotiating table.
Nice Breaking Bad reference, Dota. Okay, we're about out of time. I think Dota, are you geared up for your performance?
Yeah, we're ready. Kids, are you ready?
Yeah.
Oh my God, heart is about to melt.
So yeah, so let me just make the introduction while they're getting ready. I think this is a Wizard Wednesday first. We have certainly had musical performances in the past. Sharon has, Lorepunk has sang to us a lot. The One Who Rings, of course, dropped a serious rap single a few months ago. What other musical performances have we had? We had that amazing one that SPZ and Lorepunk made a while back, the Chimera song.
Oh yeah.
And
I heard DJ Gwendolyn was in the studio producing right now. Actually,
yes, that's an upcoming surprise. But throughout all of this, we've always heard tales of the musician in our midst, aka Dota, but we've never actually heard him sing.
Oh yeah.
So it's the top of the year, and I think we're finally ready for it.
So I'm here with Runecaster Gee.
Woohoo!
And Catherine the Great.
Hi.
And we're sitting here playing on a nylon guitar that I picked up at a pawn shop in San Francisco for, I don't know, $40 or something. So it's not my finest instrument, but yeah, we're going to sing. You guys ready?
Maybe you should play your finest instrument.
All right, well, this is what we have now. Okay.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows? And what's on the other side?
Rainbows are visions, but only illusions. And rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know the wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me.
wished on a morning star. Somebody thought of that, and someone believed it, and look what it's done so far. What's so amazing that keeps us stargazing? And what do we think we might see? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Have you been half asleep? And have you heard voices? I've heard them calling my name. Is this the sweet sound that calls the young sailors? The voice might be one and the same. I've heard it too many times to ignore it. It's something I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Da, 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 da.
Woo! Yeah! Love that.
That was amazing.
Goosebumps. Oh my gosh. Thank you, kids. Your dad was a little sharp, but you were perfect.
You're welcome.
Oh my god, they even say you're welcome in unison.
Oh man, it's like the Partridge Family.
Oh, that was beautiful. Dota, thank you for letting them do that. And
Yep.
and sounded fantastic.
Yeah, that was great. Anything else?
There's nothing else after that. We just gotta
There's
close up
nothing
shop.
else after that for sure.
Can you play us out, Dota? Can you play us out? Just with the guitars? You don't
Yep.
have to, it's okay. Play us out.
Okay, well, thank you everybody. This has been Wizard Wednesday, channeling out. This has been Elf, Dota, his singing children, their snake, Sammy Kitty, the Captain of Curiosities, Lou and his wife, and the entire Forgotten Runes Wizards cult, building the rainbow connection to the rest of the world. G and everybody.
Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers.